Welcome to the Assembly Committee on Education, the hardest working committee in the Nevada State Legislature, in the Assembly and the Senate. I'll look at the senators, they're like, absolutely not. Will the secretary, Mr. Lindsley, please call the roll? He's been so excited to do this. He's been up all night practicing because it's been so long.
Assembly members De Silva, Dahlia, DeLong, Flanagan, Hanson, Hardy, Hunt, Koenig, LaRue Hatch, Mosca, Orentlicker, and Chair Torres Fawcett.
Please mark any members not present, absent, excused, and present when they arrive. I know that we have a lot of other hearings going on at the same time, so please don't use this as a sign of disrespect or inattention if a member is not currently in the room. We're all getting ready for that quick approaching deadline day. As a reminder to the audience and members, please silence your electronic devices. If you have not yet signed in at the table by the door, please make sure you do so. Ms. Whalen, we're happy to have his back, and she's happy to sign you in at the door. Please turn on your microphone when you're going to testify, and please clearly state your name and spell your name the first time you say it, and state your affiliation, if any, for the record. Electronic copies should have already been submitted to our committee staff. Members of the public can provide testimony on a bill or provide public comment at the end of each hearing. The meeting agenda and committee information is available on Nellis, which can be accessed through the legislature's website. Public comment will be taken at the end. I think that's all. I think we've all done this a couple times. So with that, we'll go ahead and start our hearings. I know that we have a lot of bills up today. We're going to go in reverse order. I know that we have the chair of Senate Finance here, and so I'm going to try to get her out so that she can go do important things, which includes hearing our bills. So with that, I'll go ahead and open the hearing on Senate Bill 400. Then we'll do 374, then 277, then 175. Please begin when you're ready.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Marilyn Dondero Loop for the record. I was a little concerned when you said you were the hardest working committee in the Assembly and the Senate, but I did see you this morning, so it's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you very much and good afternoon. Like I mentioned, I am Marilyn Dondero Loop representing Senate District 8 in Clark County, and I'm here today to present Senate Bill 400 for your consideration. This bill seeks to adopt similar provisions in state statute to the requirements in the Individuals and Disabilities Education Act as they relate to the continuity of services for special education students transferring schools. This bill also creates an endorsement to teach art and music. I would like to start, however, with the information that provides greater context on the issues addressed in Senate Bill 400. When a child transfers to another school, it can be an extremely stressful experience, and it can be especially overwhelming for students with disabilities. Special education students rely on individualized instruction accommodations and support services listed on their individualized education program, which is an IEP, to succeed in school. Disruptions in any of these services can negatively impact their academic progress and social-emotional development. Therefore, keeping their support system intact is critical for smoother school transition and maintaining services for the child. Additionally, I'm proud to say that Nevada has come a long way in arts and music education. Research is showing that the benefits of both art and music education bring to students, including positive cognitive brain development, improved social and emotional skills, and overall higher academic achievement. So how does SB 400 address these issues? In summary, Section 1 requires that if a child transfers from a school either within or outside Nevada, the child must continue to receive the services outlined in their IEP from the previous school until another IEP is developed, adopted, and implemented. It is critically important that special education students continue to receive the services they need, and there is no gap in the delivery of services. Section 2 requires the Commission on Professional Standards in Education to adopt regulations for an endorsement to teach art or music at an elementary, middle, junior high, or secondary school. The Commission may not require such endorsements to teach related content at an elementary school if the school itself in any district has fewer than 500 students, or if the elementary school is located in a school district with fewer than 200,000 pupils. Thus, the exception for these required endorsements is for teaching in smaller elementary schools in smaller school districts other than Clark County. In closing, this bill safeguards our special education students who transfer schools by ensuring continuity in services, and it provides opportunities for qualified educators to teach art and music to students. Thank you very much, Madam Chair and Committee.
Members, any questions? I did have a question. I noticed that this would go into effect on July 1st, 2026. And so I'm just trying to understand, are most teachers, do they already have some type of endorsement?
Yes. We have a lot of teachers that have the art and music endorsements, but there was some discussion at a point this last school year that they might be not using certificated personnel. And I personally felt strongly that for example, middle school and high school students deserved a band teacher. They deserved a orchestra teacher. They deserved a choir teacher. They deserved a certified art teacher. I mean, I might be able to teach the flutophone, but I certainly don't want to be teaching high quality arts and music to our upper grade students. And so what we wanted to do was to ensure that those arts and music programs sustain the quality that they have now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so is there currently a process for those teachers to get that endorsement right now? So most teachers already have the endorsement, as I understand
Yes.
it. But this would require the commission to kind of create
Yes.
the endorsement requirements, or do those not exist yet?
To make sure that those endorsements are required and that they are in statute.
Thank you. Members, any additional questions? It isn't. Oh, go ahead, Senator.
I was just going to say,
Senator
recognizing.
Dondero Loop for the
I
record.
just wanted to, Marilyn Dondero Loop for the record, from the hardest working Senate Finance Committee. I just wanted to say that while we recognize in a small county like Eureka or a one-room schoolhouse, which we still have in Nevada, we may have some different needs, and that's why we made this for less than $200,000. But in our bigger school districts, we have a lot of certificated teachers that are more than willing to do this job and should be doing it for our students.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions. So with that, I'll go ahead and invite anyone wishing to testify in support of SB 400. Please begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nathaniel Watt, Clark County School District. We just want to express our support and thank Senator Dondero Loop for ensuring that we're giving our kids the education and the services that they need. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Torres Fawcett and members of the hardest working committee on the Assembly side. Leonard Benavides for the record, here with UNLV in proud support of SB 400. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and Committee. My name is Nicole Flangus, here with the Nevada Association of School Boards. We're very much in support of continuing those IEPs for our students. We really appreciate the work from Senator Dondero Loop, and we're in support of SB 400.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Mary Brzezinski, here representing Nevada Association of School Superintendents, and we appreciate this bill, the couple of areas that are covered in this bill, and we're supportive of 400 and hope that you will pass it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is Ryan McInerney from Nevada State University, and we are in strong support of this bill. Thank you.
Austin Daly, on behalf of the University of Nevada, Reno, just want to ditto as well. Thank you.
Seeing no one else here in Carson City, and I don't see anyone approaching in Las Vegas, AVHS, anyone on the line wishing to testify in support of SB 400.
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 400, please press *9 now to join the queue.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Stephen Cohen for the record. Ditto. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. And I think for the record, that was Stephen Cohen, Cohen. Thank you. Next caller.
Chair, we have no additional callers in support.
Thank you. At this time, do we have anyone wishing to testify in opposition to SB 400? Not seeing any here in Carson nor in Las Vegas. ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in opposition to SB 400?
Thank you, Chair. We have no callers for opposition testimony.
Thank you. Do I have anyone here in Carson City or in Las Vegas wishing to testify in neutral? Not seeing any. ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in neutral?
Chair, we have no callers for neutral testimony.
Thank you. At this time, I'll invite Senator Dondero Loop for any closing remarks. Doesn't appear there's any, so with that, we'll go ahead and close the hearing on SB 400. Thank you, Senator. She's going to go back to her hard work in Senate Finance. If you need some bills to schedule, let me know. I have some. With that, we will go ahead and close that hearing if I haven't already, and then we'll go ahead and open the hearing on SB 374.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and members of the committee. Senate District 15, Angie Taylor, the proud representative of Senate District 15. Thank you so much on such a busy day for this time. I was going to say that the committee I chair is actually the hardest working committee, but I have a bill before you, so I need you. And the Senate Finance Chair just left. I need her. So I'm just going to say I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much. No, I really do appreciate this opportunity to quickly present to you Senate Bill 374. In a nutshell, Senate Bill 374 is a continuation of the student discipline bills that passed last session of Assembly Bill 285 and Assembly Bill 330. The next step in that, in speaking with our educators, is providing more support for students on the student behavior end. So I was able to get with the Department of the NDE, the Nevada Department of Education. They have an amazing program they've been piloting with the University of Nevada in Reno, which really works with MTSS, which we all are pretty much familiar with, provides some additional supports. And what they've seen what they've realized in the pilot program is that there was reduced absenteeism, increased academic support, and a reduction in student behavior issues. So this allows, and by the way, this is in the governor's budget, so this allows really an opportunity for us to kind of put our arms around that and provide these extra supports for the students so we can continue to get to a better place in our school environment. So certainly happy to answer any questions that you have for me while I'm here. Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Members, any questions? Assemblymember Liberty Hatch.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for being here. So I have a couple questions. One of them is on page 3, section 1.5, when it's talking about the percentage of staff members that need this training. I'm just wondering why it's 20% of the staff members, and is it 20% are getting this very intensive specialized training while all the rest of us are getting just general training, or what's the breakdown there?
Thank you, Assembly Member. Madam Chair, through you to Assembly Member
Please
LaRue
go directly
Hatch.
to the member. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's the first time I've said that. I keep forgetting, so thank you very much. So, thank you, Assembly Member, for the question. The reason being is connects to what we put in place last session is 20% per year. So over 5 years, all of the staff members should get that training, realizing that there are too many staff members across our state for everybody to get it all at once.
Thank you so much. So is the district kind of at liberty to decide how and when to offer that, or is it like every year 20% have to go to a 2-day intensive boot camp training? Like how specific is it as far as the requirements for the training?
Thank you, Assembly Member Angie Taylor. For the record, really the program is already in place with the Nevada Department of Education. And again, the connection between this and the Senate bills, the student behavior bills that we had last session, really encourages the administration in the districts to really designate those where the need is the greatest, where they have the largest amount of absentee issues, the largest amount of behavior issues, and kind of roll it out based upon need.
Is there any other questions for this bill? I did have a question. So if you could, just kind of building off of what my colleague was asking, what % of staff is currently receiving this training right now, each year?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Angie Taylor for the record. They had an this program was piloted with the University of Nevada in Reno, so there isn't a specific number that so many staff members across the state, because it was a really restricted piloted program. This would broaden it across the state.
Thank you. I think that the concern from that I'm hearing from Assemblymember Lou Hatch that I would echo is just with that 20% number and just whether or not that's measurable, then who participates. I like the idea of this training, right? And I'm definitely supportive, but I'm wondering 20% each year, does that mean you have to take it once every 5 years? Do you have to have is it going to be the same people going to this training every single year? Is the training going to change? So just making sure that it's like more intentional, either if it's going to be provided on an individual school level, then we can just do it in every school, right? Or if it's going to be very specialized training that only 20% of staff would participate in, that the district would be required to provide. Is that which version of this? Are you expecting this to be school-wide or in like individualized, more specialized instruction that the district then provides?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Angie Taylor for the record. The district isn't providing the training at all, the Nevada Department of Education, because they have a program in partnership with the university, and now in this case, universities. The whole idea would be, again, targeting where the need is the greatest, but I hear what you're saying, so maybe should be something in here that says, this is the 20%. The whole idea is 20% and 20% and 20% and 20%. So in theory, you have 100% of the staff that's participated across a 5-year period of time. But that can be made more plain in here, because I see your question.
Okay, thank you. I think that clarification is helpful. So the goal is for us to eventually get to 100%. So I would recommend some type of like 100% by a certain year might be helpful. So like by 2030, 100% of staff have participated. That would be 5 years to do that. Whether they do 20% this year or they start with 25% next school year so that they have a year to develop it. It looks like these programs already exist and that there's already funding for that as well. So I'm definitely eager to work with you to kind of figure out what's also and better understand from the universities what's going on with the MTSS support right now as well.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Angie Taylor for the record. And I can send you some program info, but happy to work with you so we can get our arms around this a little better. That makes sense.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Members, any additional questions? It doesn't appear that there's any additional questions at this time. Thank you so much, Senator. And welcome back to the hardest working committee. At this time, I'll invite anyone wishing to testify in support of SB 374.
Good afternoon, Chair and Committee. I'm Brian Wallace, a middle school teacher and Vice President of the Nevada State Education Association, who has been the voice of Nevada educators for 125 years in all 17 counties. We support SB 374 to continue to provide our educators with professional development on the discipline and behavior of our students. NSC has a long history of continued engagement on this issue, especially around educators' safety and student disciplinary practices. One of the constants through several iterations of student discipline systems has been the lack of resources, especially related to proper training and professional development. SB 374 is a continued important step toward addressing these shortcomings, and we ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nathaniel Wall, Clark County School District. Just want to ditto that and thank the sponsor for bringing it forward. Thank you.
Hi, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Kalen Evans, president of the Washoe Education Association, and we represent the certified professionals in the Washoe County School District. We just want to thank first the senator for her work around student discipline supports dating back to last legislative session when she was an assemblywoman, and so we just thank that. And I think understanding that any work that we can do around student behavior and providing more proactive supports at the school sites are strongly needed. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and Committee. My name is Nicole Flingus here on behalf of the Nevada Association of School Boards. One of our legislative priorities this session was to work on wraparound services as they are imposed with student discipline and behavior. And one of the big goals was about what was the next step. Implementing this MTSS system is something we've really looked forward to. We appreciated the work of the pilot program and we look forward to its implementation.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Mary Przinski, here representing Nevada Association of School Superintendents, and we're in support of this bill and extra help for our teachers to get classrooms under control. You can't teach when the kids are not behaving. So anyway, we appreciate appreciate that additional professional development. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else here in support for SB 374 here in Carson City nor in Las Vegas ABH, is there anyone on the line?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 374, please press star 9 to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers in support.
Thank you. Is there anyone here in opposition for SB 374? Seeing no one here in Carson City nor in Las Vegas ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in opposition?
If you would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 374, please press star 9 now to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers for opposition.
Thank you. Is there anyone here wishing to testify neutral to SB 374? Seeing no one here in Carson City nor in Las Vegas ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify neutral to SB 374?
If you would like to testify in neutral for Senate Bill 374, please press star 9 now to join the queue. Caller ending in 223, please press star 6 to unmute yourself and begin.
Good afternoon, members of the chair and the board. I would like to just mention that as part of Clark County School District, as a school counselor, my name is Kathy Griffith, by the way.
Can you spell your name for the record?
Like
Thank
the
you.
idea of getting, K-A, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, I-E. Last name is Griffith, Griffith.
Okay, please proceed.
Sorry. I think this is a great thing to get extra help for teachers and the school staff. I am concerned that it mentions specifically school social workers, where school counselors would have to also be mentioned in this bill.
Ma'am, I do believe that you're referring to SB 277. We're on a bill about MTSS structures, not SB 374.
I was talking about 374 when it talks about the provision of school social workers. I just wanted to make sure that school counselors were, that was my suggestion, is including school counselors within that scope.
Okay, I do think you're talking about SB 277, but we'll take that into consideration. Next caller.
Thank you.
Chair, we have no additional callers in neutral.
AVH is seeing. Is there anyone else in neutral? I apologize.
Chair, we have no additional callers for neutral testimony at this time.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and invite the sponsor for any closing remarks. Senator Taylor is waiving those remarks, so we'll go ahead and close the hearing on SB 374, and we will open the hearing on SB 277.
Thank you, committee. Thank you, chair. And my name is Shelley Cruz Crawford. For the record, I'm a senator for Senate District 1. Today, I have a very, very important bill that I've been working on since about 2018 through this work. Working on identifying and closing those gaps for school counselors, school psychologists, and school social workers. Today, I have with me Jeff Brisky from the Nevada Department of Education to answer any technical questions down south. And then on Zoom, I have Dr. Dockweiler overseeing a lot of the mental health gap closures we do in the state of Nevada to answer any of those questions. I'm going to briefly go through why I have this bill and the pieces of this bill. I'll keep it very short because I know many of you have been able to see what we were doing with the other hearings earlier. So I was doing research to identify what was stopping people from filling these positions. In March of 2025 this year, the Gwynn Center released a study that let us know that the recommended amount of school psychologists for the state of Nevada is 1 to every 500 students, but in Nevada we have 1 for every 1,866 students. School social workers, recommendation is 1 to 250. We have 1 social worker for 8,750 students. And for school counselors, the recommendation is 1 to 250 students. We have 1 to 544 students. And as I was investigating why we did not fill these positions, a lot of it stems from the educational process that we go through. So I worked with many of our stakeholders, like the Nevada Association of School Counselors. I worked with school social work organizations, both nationally and within our state. And what I identified is that a lot of people have been stopping pursuing their education once they get to that practicum or that hour piece. And so, for example, if you are a school counselor, you go to school, you get a master's degree, and then at the very end of that master's degree, right before you graduate, you do between 500 and 700 hours in the state of Nevada. And people were not completing those hours, or they were taking years to complete those hours. I asked, can we complete those hours during the workday and count them 4 hours toward completing that degree portion of the program? And I worked with, again, Association of School Counselors and social workers to identify that we could do that. And so I will walk through this bill and then open up to any questions. First, I have Section 1. This bill does 3 things. Section 1.3 directly deals with social workers, specifically CCSD, employing social workers to the extent available at the school base first, not working through a contractor. And I'll let you know why. In 2019, we received a lot of money in the state for school social workers. We hired a contracting service. They took a percentage off the top, which reduced the rate of social workers. And so it was really hard to attract social workers. And so this says as money is available to first hire at the school level. Section 1.7 part of this bill, which you had heard earlier, is a support adhering to power-based violence policies designed to prevent harassment. And Section 2 of this bill, deals with the licensing component for school counselors, and school psychologists and school social workers. So with that being said, I will now take any questions. Thank you.
Members, any questions? Assemblymember Flanagan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I might be on the wrong mic, but we'll make it work. It's a super simple question. I just want more clarification on understanding the levels of education where the applicant for the license can teach the middle school, junior high school education or secondary. Just wanted to understand why those are chosen. Is it like a best practice base?
I'm sorry, Assemblymember, can you tell me what section of the bill or what page?
It is Section 2 of the bill. Section 2 under 7.2 must require an applicant for a license to teach a middle school or junior high school education or secondary education to demonstrate proficiency in a field of specialization or area of concentration. We're on 277, right?
Can you give me One moment.
I printed it out, so I didn't do it that way, but it's on page 4 when you print it. Line 44.
Assemblymember, I don't think that's new language. That's existing language within the NRS.
Okay, I was just wanting to understand in the context of the overall, but it's fine if it's not.
Yeah, I think the addition to that section, if I understand correctly, would be the school counseling and school social work on page 6 of the bill.
Okay, it's fine. I can talk to her offline. Just, it's not pertinent, so it's fine. It's not a matter of whether or not I would support the bill, so.
Assemblymember Hanson.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for being here and bringing this bill. You are dialed into an issue that I've been concerned about, the practicum hours after people have had, a lot of schooling, and I do think it really does impact the ability for us to get these counselors, school psychologists there. In Section 2, so page 6, but Section 2, I think it would be sub 2, where we actually talk about the school counseling, and then the sub 3. If you could just explain, especially that sub 3, the school social work, if the person does not hold a license or endorsement as a school social worker, but is enrolled in a program that would allow the person to obtain such a license or endorsement to complete any required internship or practicum hours for the purpose of obtaining a license or endorsement, and the rest of that. So that they actually am I understanding it right? That's actually on the job then. You're on the job, those hours are counting? Is that what you were getting at, I think, in your opening remarks?
Senator Cruz Crawford, Chair, to Assemblymember Hanson. Yeah, so right now it's called a safe school professional. They actually do a lot of this in practice. Out of the 3 professions, social workers are really on the forefront of doing this work because there's more of an avenue. We're just putting it in our NRS. It is supervised. Will they do that? So I had my social worker was supervised by my school counselor for their hours as they transitioned to getting those licensing hours. So yes, it's on the job in a modified position where they're accruing those hours. This is just making sure that they're able to keep their job and benefits while they're doing it. Thank you.
Members, any additional questions? I did have a question in regard to specifically section 1.3 sub 2. So on page 2 of the bill, where it says that they could not enter into contract with an independent contractor. I do note that this would apply to any public school, specifically CCSD or public charter school within that district. And the issue with some of the smaller public charter schools is that there might be a need for them to not have a full-time social worker. And I think that this would be limiting language that would actually prevent them from getting somebody that could do some of that work. So can you explain a little bit why that subsection was added?
Thank you, Chair Shelley Cruz Crawford, for the record, and we can talk to Asher about this, but from what I understand, we wanted to make the language so that when you are hiring a full-time one, this language covers so that if you are resolved of this issue, if you are split contracting, and you can answer that. So some schools, charter schools or smaller schools, share a school social worker, and so when they do employ at a full-time basis, and whatever's practicable, I was told covered that, but you can dig into that and answer that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Asher Killian, Committee Counsel. Yes, so I think it's the insofar as practicable phrase in subsection 2 that's doing the lift here. If you have a smaller charter school within a county of appropriate size for which it truly isn't practicable for them to employ a full-time social worker, and the only way that they can obtain those services, as opposed to not being able to obtain services at all, would be through a contract with a social worker on a part-time basis. I think that's where that clause would protect that kind of activity. The intent is to employ a full-time social worker if possible, but for a particular school, if that wouldn't be possible and the alternative is no services, then they would still be able to contract part-time with a school social worker.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Members, any additional questions? Assemblymember Lewer Hatch.
Thank you so much, Chair. Just as we were talking, I had a question come up. So I just wanted to talk about page 6, that subsection 2 and 3 that my colleague had brought up about the counselors and the social workers. I just want to get an idea. I totally support the idea of them getting their practicum hours because I think it is challenging. I just want to get an idea of who is going to be overseeing them, and will they be providing like one-on-one mental health services without supervision, or will there be guardrails to ensure someone that isn't all the way finished with their license has some oversight?
Shelley Cruz Crawford for the record, through Chair, through to Assembly Member LaRue Hatch. I'm really excited to talk about this. I'll let Dr. Dockweiler chime in if she has anything. So I'm working directly with the Nevada Association of School Counselors to talk about what that limited scope is. So what does that look like when they've gotten all their schooling but they haven't had their experience? And they're coming up with items that they can do on that limited license. So no suicide protocol, right? But they can do the lessons that are already created curriculum. So they're actually the subject matter experts are coming up with, because it's directing the department to do that limited scope licensing, and they are supervised by other counselors. But I can have Dr. Dockweiler share what that looks like, or if you have any more things to add, because she's really at the forefront of this work.
Good afternoon, Katie Dockweiler for the record. Thank you, Senator Cruz Crawford, and thank you for the question. Yes, the students who are working with their site supervisors are supervised one-on-one, and they receive direct supervision for all the different elements that they are required to complete for their program. And oftentimes, as was mentioned, there's 500, 700, 1,200 hours. School psychologists do an entire year of internship, and it's similar to a gradual release model, where the students are very closely supervised one-on-one at the very beginning. And as their skills develop and they earn competencies in the different domains, then they are able to do more work individually while still supervised, but also receiving support where needed towards the end of their supervision hours.
Members, any additional questions? Assemblymember Koenig. I think that answered his question.
I actually have a daughter who is a school social worker, so I know quite a lot about this, but I don't have any specific questions at this time.
All right. It doesn't look like there are any questions. Thank you, Senator, for the presentation. At this time, I will go ahead and invite anyone wishing to testify in support of SB 277. Please begin when you're ready. I don't see anyone in Carson City, or I apologize. We don't see anyone in Las Vegas, so we'll go ahead and begin here in Carson City.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Nathaniel Wall, Clark County School District. We want to first off thank the sponsor for bringing this forward, and we support the effort to keep these support professionals in the pipeline, in the district, in the classroom, and to help create the safe learning environments that we strive for at CCSD. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee. Austin Daly on behalf of the University of Nevada, Reno for the record. We're also in support of SB 277 on behalf of our School of Social Work. So thank you.
Thank you, Chair and Committee. Brian Wallace, middle school teacher and vice president of the Nevada State Education Association, ditto.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Reagan Comas, speaking on my own personal account. As you heard earlier this session, my daughter was sexually assaulted by another student in her freshman year of high school. There were several students who reported this to the school, and their delayed and dismissive response, in addition to forced retellings of the assault, caused her additional trauma. Unfortunately, these incidents are far more frequent than any of us would want to believe. In the 2017-2018 U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights report, Nevada ranked highest for incidents of sexual assault with 2.25 reports per 1,000 students. The second highest was Georgia with 1.09 reports per 1,000 students. In 2013, the legislature passed AB 245, sponsored by Chair Torres Fawcett. AB 245 created the Committee on Responses to Power-Based Violence in Schools. The committee is comprised of advocates, school principals, social workers, teachers, and superintendents. I serve as the vice chair of the committee, and as we discussed what schools were doing and what tools and assistance was needed. Through these discussions, it was identified that there is no specific policy for power-based violence. These incidents require a different approach than bullying, and there is is no one-size-fit-all policy that works for districts. The committee voted to support the measure requiring schools to create a policy on how to address these reports. Each school district has different resources, and AB 277 gives each district the flexibility to create a policy that they can administer without creating undue burden. The Nevada Department of Education's annual Safe Voice Nevada report for the 2023-2024 school year states that there were 158 tips of sexual assault and 29 tips of domestic and dating violence. We must ensure that schools are properly equipped to respond to these incidents with compassion, consistency, and competence, supporting not only the students who come forward, but also the staff responsible for handling these sensitive situations. SB 277 provides a critical step toward that goal, and I respectfully urge your support. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Torres Fawcett and committee members Lindsay Knox on my own behalf. I will not repeat my prior testimony, as all of you heard of my daughter's situation, but I believe that it is dire, as you heard Ms. Comas say, that we take the necessary steps to protect our students and provide them with the proper resources they need. SB 277 is a good start, and we appreciate Senator Cruz Crawford for bringing it forward. Thank you.
Hi, for the record, Kaylin Evans, President of the Washoe Education Association. We just want to thank the Senator for her work around the mental health supports at schools. We actually had a couple of our social workers from Washoe County come up when it was on the Senate side speaking in support. And I also want to just thank Assemblywoman LaRue Hatch and Hanson around the discussion. An initial concern we had was sort of what were the guardrails around those positions when they hadn't fully been accredited? Like what services could they provide, what services they couldn't? Because we want to make sure ultimately that we fully agree with getting those practicum hours and getting them into the schools, but making sure that we have fully qualified and certified folks being able to provide those services. And, the discussion around that really alleviated that concern. So thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Tom Clark. I'm here on behalf of the Nevada Association of School Boards, and we are proud to support each element of Senate Bill 277. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Sarah Adler, representing the Public Charter Coalition of Northern Nevada. And I want to first say that I spent the year of 2017 and 18 standing up Safe Voice in our state. And school social workers were the number one need of schools throughout our state in order to provide protections and support to their students. So this bill is very exciting, and it's seeking to increase the opportunity for school social workers by providing the practicum hours. This is allowed in other behavioral health settings. The internship hours are allowed to be performed within behavioral health settings, so this is appropriate. Charter schools also appreciate inclusion in Section 1.7. If you have a good policy related to response to power-based violence, then you receive civil immunity. That's an excellent approach. Thank you. We appreciate the sponsor.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the committee. Tess Opferman here on behalf of the Washoe County School District. I'll just echo all of the comments that came before me and say we're in full support of the bill. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Mary Przinski, here representing Nevada Association of School Superintendents. We are in support of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else here in Carson City or in Las Vegas, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in support of SB 277? Is that Mr. Keating? He left. Oh, okay. Go ahead, AVH.
If you would like to provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 277, please press star 9 now to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers in support.
Thank you. AVH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in support? Or, I apologize. We're going to opposition. It's been a while. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in opposition? Not seeing any, and not seeing any in Vegas. AVH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in opposition?
If you would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 277, please press star 9 to join the queue. Caller ending in 974, you were unmuted. Please proceed. Caller ending in 974, you are unmuted on our end. Will you please check your phone and proceed? Chair, it appears this caller is not able to begin. Would you like to proceed and move forward?
Yes, please.
We have no additional callers in opposition.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and invite anyone wishing to testify in neutral. Not seeing any here in Carson nor in Las Vegas AVH. Is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in neutral?
If you would like to provide testimony in neutral for Senate Bill 277, please press *9 now to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers in neutral.
Thank you. At this time, I'll invite the senator for any closing remarks.
Thank you, Chair Shelley Cruz Crawford. For the record, I just want to thank all of our school counselors, all of our school psychologists, and all of our school social workers. Had a pretty heavy hearing earlier today with mental health crises and being the first line of defense. It's really important that we support these careers. I also want to thank Lindsay and Reagan for allowing me to take care of their portion of the bill as well. Thank you so much for allowing this hearing today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and definitely thank you to all involved, and I appreciate that we were able to get that power-based violence in here. I don't think we had a lot of questions since we had heard it earlier in session, so I appreciate it. With that, we'll go ahead and close the hearing on SB 277, and we'll go ahead and proceed to our next one, which is SB 175. So I'll go ahead and invite the sponsor to present. All right, one moment. Let's just go ahead and take a 1-minute recess. All right, Assembly Education will reconvene. With that, we'll go ahead and open the hearing on SB 175. Please begin when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the Education Committee. My name is Lori Rogish, and I represent Senate District 11, which is located in the southwest area of Las Vegas. Joining us by Zoom is Lieutenant Colonel Caldwell. He served in the United States Army for 30 years and is currently the director of the JROTC program within the Washoe County School District. Also joining us by Zoom is Senior Master Sergeant Padilla, who served 25 years in the United States Air Force. His story is a testament to the potential of this legislation and the positive impact it can have on our schools, our students, and our communities. I'm very honored to have as co-sponsors to this bill our legislature's veterans, Corporal Rupin De Silva, who served in the United States Marines and is the vice chair of this committee, and the Nevada Assembly member from the 28th District. Chief Master Sergeant Ken Gray, who served in the United States Air Force and is a Nevada Assembly member from the 39th District. First Lieutenant Shelley Cruz Crawford, who is actively serving in the Nevada Air National Guard. She is also the Nevada Senator from District 1. Senate Bill 175 seeks to streamline the certification process for military personnel and veterans aspiring to become Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps instructors. This bill aims to dismantle the unnecessary barriers that currently hinder these highly qualified individuals from contributing their invaluable expertise to our education system. The inspiration for this legislation stems from the real-life experiences of constituents like Bobby Padilla, a retired Senior Master Sergeant from the United States Air Force. With 25 years of honorable service to our nation, Senior Master Sergeant Padilla is an aerospace science instructor. Despite possessing a provisional certification from the United States Air Force and clear documented eligibility for a JROTC position at Liberty High School, the Nevada Department of Education's interpretation of certification unjustly blocked his path to employment. Lieutenant Colonel Caldwell today will discuss that over the past 7 years he has continued to address the NDE's misinterpretation of certification and how this misinterpretation continues to disregard the impressive qualifications and potential contributions of veterans such as Senior Master Sergeant Padilla. Senate Bill 175 is not merely a legislative proposal, it is a tribute to the service of our military personnel. It offers a pragmatic solution, paving the way for veterans to inspire and educate the next generation within our schools. By supporting this bill, we honor their service and unlock opportunities for them to continue serving our communities in meaningful ways. And so at this moment, I will turn it over to Assembly Member Ruben De Silva.
Thank you, Chair and committee. I'll just be very brief. I had some comments here, but this bill just does two things. One, it addresses the teacher shortage issue that we're having, and then two, it also is also addressing another big issue that we're having in our country, which is the underutilization of our military veterans. So what this bill essentially does is just streamline the process to get our vets who are highly trained and to bring those skill sets into our classrooms. And again, I want to thank the senator for bringing this bill forward.
Thank you, Lori Rogish, for the record. And if we can turn to Lieutenant Colonel Caldwell by Zoom, please.
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Scott Caldwell, C-A-L-D-W-E-L-L. I'm the Director for JROTC here in the Washoe County School District. I'm the only JROTC administrator in Nevada, and I'm representing all military branches for JROTC when I say that this bill is crucial to finally remove the delays in instructor licensure that I have encountered for 7 years, and I commend Senator Rogish for her insight, energy, and commitment to get this change in place. Instructor vacancies have a very short shelf life, often 90 days or less. This is set by the military services. Congress recently told the Department of Defense that they would like to see 8,000 additional JROTC programs across the country. Yet funding was not provided to reach even half of that number. Without new funds to open programs, the military services fund new programs by closing programs with low enrollment or unsatisfactory performance, or remove individual instructor positions from schools if they are not filled within a short time frame. Any loss of an instructor position will require a corresponding reduction in enrollment for that program, which of course reduces the positive life-changing growth that instructors are able to instill in enrolled students. Any delay in the instructor licensure process places the filling of instructor vacancies at risk and encourages applicants to look to our neighboring states for opportunities where the streamlined licensing process already exists, and often where instructors find increased compensation, as in the case of Senior Master Sergeant Padilla, whose inquiry into the licensure process in Nevada influenced the birth of this bill, and who is currently moving his family to California, where he will work as an Air Force JROTC instructor instead of in Clark County, where he first applied. I respectfully ask you to vote yes on this bill to help us ensure that we keep in Nevada the highly qualified military veterans who are interested to build the next generation of great Americans. Thank you.
Thank you. And if Master Sergeant Padilla is available, or Senior Master Sergeant Padilla.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm Air Force retired Senior Master Sergeant Santiago Padilla for the record. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today of support Senate Bill 175, championed by Senator Rogish, to remove the unnecessary barriers for us qualified veterans seeking to become junior RTC instructors. Although I'm not going to become an instructor here in Nevada at this current time, but I do want to share just a brief of my experience starting this journey, which started last year, May 2024, when I applied to become an Air Force junior RTC instructor. 1 month later, on June 20th, I received my provisional certification. And the provisional certification basically states, and again, this is per the Air Force, I'm clear to perform all necessary duties and responsibilities required of an aerospace instructor, as long as these duties are performed under supervision of a fully certified instructor or qualified faculty or administration official until completion of my DoD background check and initial instructor certification training. I applied for a position at Liberty High and was going through the process and was pretty much the candidate for the job. And then when I applied for my license through the Department of Education, Nevada Department of Education, I was denied in September of last year. And I was denied because although the document from the Air Force confirmed that I was eligible for employment, because it read provisional certification, it did not confirm full certification as a junior ROTC instructor. And ever since then, I was not able to fulfill that position at Liberty High. And I wasn't able to progress with any interviewing. And currently there is no positions here. So like Lieutenant Colonel Caldwell stated, the other states have no problem of looking at this provisional certification saying, yes, we can accept this. But again, I appreciate this. I appreciate the time and my full support of Senate Bill 175.
Thank you. And Chair, we're available for questions.
Thank you. With that, I'll go ahead and move to questions. Members, any questions? It doesn't appear there are any. Thank you. I appreciate it. And at this time, we'll go ahead and move to support for SB 175. Probably a little known fact. I actually participated in high school JROTC. Yep, I was in Valley JROTC program with Sergeant Vile. If anyone knows him, he was an interesting creature. I hope he's doing well. I loved him. We're good friends. So at this, I'll go ahead and go to support here in Carson City.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assemblyman Ken Gray for the record, Assembly District 39. Proud co-sponsor of this bill with the senator and my fellow assembly member. Just want to say that this is a valuable piece of legislation that will clear up a bureaucratic mess, shall I say, that was created by my own service branch. 26 years in the U.S. Air Force, even member of the senior leadership, and I call it like I see it. But if you guys could pass this, it would be greatly beneficial to our state, our ROTC programs, and our high schools. And a little misconception that we encountered in the Senate, these instructors will be for ROTC only. They're not going to be mainline instructors. These are, certified instructors for ROTC courses. Thank you.
Thank you. Assemblymember Gray, I encourage you to vote yes on this bill. Next, thank you.
Assemblyman Gray for the record. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm almost there.
Hi, Kalen Evans for the record, President of the Washoe Education Association. I will set up a meeting with Mr. Gray to get his vote on this. We just quickly wanted to say thank you for the push on this. As a local, we've been actually working really to better support and involve our JROTC instructors in our unit. They currently aren't in a unit. Anything that expands opportunities for students outside of traditional, what would you say, schooling is much needed. And I also just want to take a moment, Lieutenant Caldwell, or Colonel Caldwell, on the Zoom. We are very fortunate to have the type of leader like that in our school district. He is a staunch advocate for the JROTC instructors. He goes above and beyond to really advocate for those educators and the work they do. So we just wanted to say thank you to the Senator for the bill and fully support.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, Trevor Parrish with the Vegas Chamber, and the Chamber's in support of SB 175 as this bill helps the members of our armed forces and our veterans by offering them a new career opportunity while simultaneously helping to address our teacher shortage by allowing these heroes to teach ROTC. Firstly, the Chamber would like to thank our legislators for their service to our country. We also thank the bill sponsor for bringing this forward, and we thank the committee for your support. Thank you.
Nathaniel Wall, Clark County School, on behalf of Clark County School District and Dr. Keating, just expressing our support, urge your support, and thanking the sponsors for this. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Mary Przenski, here representing the Nevada Association of School Superintendents. We're in full support of this bill and appreciate the sponsor bringing it forward. Our JROTC programs are really important in our schools. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the committee. My name is Anthony Curry. I'm here in my personal capacity today and to testify in support of SB 175. As a proud Navy veteran and a graduate of the Nevada 941st at Durango High School, I've personally experienced the value and importance of JROTC instructors both as a student and during my time as a Navy recruiter. These instructors are critical to preparing future leaders for our state and our country in both the civilian and military communities. SB 175 will ensure that qualified and certified veterans and service members can efficiently become licensed and continue their service in this critical role. For these reasons, I support SB 175. Thanks.
Chair and committee members, for the record, my name is Andrew LaPelbit. I'm the chairman of the United Veterans Legislative Council for Nevada, representing the 250,000 veterans in a state. I would say ditto, 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 ditto so far, and to point out that this is a foundational training for our young youth in leadership, teamwork, responsibility, and patriotism, and we 100,000% support this bill. Please approve this bill. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm Sarah Adler, representing the Public Charter Coalition of Northern Nevada. So charter schools are great experts and advocates of alternative paths to licensure. So this is a good cleanup that will assist all of our schools. And then as a high school English teacher for 6 years, I so appreciated our ROTC program over at Carson High. It took live wires like some who may be within this room and really help them dig into and focus into the delights of English grammar, for example, in my classroom. So I think ROTC, my point is it has wide benefits throughout the high school community. Thank you.
Seeing no one else here in Carson City, I do see one in Las Vegas. Please begin when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the very hard-working Assembly Education Committee. My name is Fred Wagar, W-A-G-A-R, and I represent the Nevada Departments of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and the Disabled American Veterans, and their nearly 30,000 members and dependents. I am a retired Army Sergeant First Class. I'm here today to express our strong support for Senate Bill 175, a legislative initiative aimed at strengthening Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps instruction within our state schools, and it's a critical step for fostering leadership, discipline, and civic responsibility among Nevada's youth, empowering young individuals by installing core values such as integrity, respect, and service. The success of any JROTC program hinges on the quality of its instructors. SB 175 proposes increased support for the professional development of JROTC instructors, ensuring they are equipped with the latest teaching methodologies and leadership training. This will not only enhance the classroom experience, but also inspire students to strive for excellence. I urge the members of the Education Committee to pass SB 175 and demonstrate your commitment to the growth and success of our state's youth. A special thank you to Senators Rogich, who's my senator in the district, and Senator Cruz Crawford for bringing this bill forward to educate Nevada's junior ROTC students. Thank you for your time and attention to this important bill. Please take this opportunity to empower our youth and build a brighter future for Nevada by supporting SB 175. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in Las Vegas, ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in support of SB 175?
To provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 175, please press star 9 now to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers in support.
Thank you. Seeing no one in support, is there anyone here in Carson City or in Las Vegas wishing to testify in opposition to SB 175? Seeing none, ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in opposition?
If you would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 175, please press star 9 now to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers for opposition.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to testify in neutral? Seeing none here in Carson City nor in Las Vegas, ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in neutral?
To provide testimony in neutral for Senate Bill 175, please press star 9 now to join the queue. Chair, we have no callers in neutral.
Thank you. At this time, I'll invite the bill sponsor for any closing remarks. It looks like we're waiving those remarks. With this, that will close the hearing on SB 175. And we will move on to the last item on our agenda, which is public comment. Is there anyone here in Carson City wishing to testify in public comment? Not seeing any, and not seeing any in Las Vegas. ABH, is there anyone on the line wishing to testify in public comment?
If you would like to provide public comment, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, the public lines are open and working. However, there are no callers choosing to provide comment at this time.
Thank you. And with that, I'll go to members. Any comments before we adjourn? I know that there will not be a work session today. I wanted to give members more time, especially because at least one of these bills I added yesterday. So just so you have time to review and vet those. So we're not going to be doing a work session today, but I do expect obviously a work session at some point within the next 5 days. And I do expect that this committee will likely meet again with some time within the next 5 days. We got tons of time. It's like a lifetime to pass policy. With that, I know Mr. Lindsay wanted to share with you all that he has a great broth recipe for pork broth. So if you would wish to have it, he is happy to share. You could visit him right here or in my office if you don't have time this afternoon. And with that, the committee is adjourned.